Welcome, everybody, to Drinks with Raoul. Fucking love that image. That's me transposed into George Michael, which was what I was like when I was younger. If you're suggesting I look like George Michael now, I won't take that as a compliment because he's dead, unfortunately. So we have got a whole fucking, I don't know how long, I never know how long these run for. They're supposed to run for an hour, they never do. There's going to be a lot of chaos. There's going to be a lot of alpha. There's going to be lots of things. So just get prepared for lots of things. But as ever, we don't start an evening of drinks without civilization occurring. So I'm going to play chef for you today, and I'm going to show you what I think is a very, very important recipe for you to get your heads around. So what I'm going to start with is a bag, an oversized American size bag. So this is what American would call a small snack bag of carcinogenic Doritos in the worst flavor in the world, Cool Ranch. Right. So here, this is we're going to start the recipe. So with the recipe, we take out a large pot. We open these delicious smelling carcinogen. Oh, you smell that. It just smells like no natural substance on earth. We gently scatter around the pan. Okay. So now we've got this beautiful crunchy base of ranch, Cool Ranch dressing Doritos. Look at those. Amazing, eh? Amazing. Pinnacle of American culture. And then what we need to do is we need to create a broth to really bring out the flavor of these. So what we have is a can of Bud Light. So we open that, just smell the depth of flavor and the beauty and deliciousness of what is one of the greatest drinks that America has ever produced, made with barley, malt, and rice for some fucking reason. And what you do is you gently pour it over this. Look at that, this lovely, delicious broth of Bud Light. Then we just take this and pop it in the toilet and flush. And then what we've created is really what should be the great American dish. Toilet flushed Doritos in Bud Light. Please enjoy. So anyway, meanwhile, I popped something in the oven earlier that we can enjoy in the meantime while the toilet is doing its thing with that American junk food. And what we have here is we have Spanish chorizo. This is ingredients: pork, saffron, pork, paprika, and salt. 3 ingredients. Oven roasted peanuts with their skins, gives you the extra fiber. These are Jamaican peanuts. I've shown you to them before. The Indian ones I think are better, and the Asian or African ones that are super dry are even better. Drizzled with extra virgin olive oil and salt. 3 ingredients in each dish. None of them are going to kill you. And I'm washing it down. I'm a bit of a champagne boy, and I know. I'm a bit wanky. I get it. But champagne is just fucking great. It's such a great drink. And we've talked about this, that I can't force alcohol into it. I can't force additives into it. It just is what it is. And so it's always fabulous. It's always fresh. It doesn't make you feel tired. You know, anybody who's thinking that, you know, starting the evening at 5 o'clock on a Tuesday demands a fucking glass of 15.5% red wine from Napa Valley or Barossa or somewhere. I mean, I'm sorry, I can't help you guys. You ease your palate into a big red wine. I mean, I don't even drink those 15% stuff often, but you ease your way in, and you ease it in with an aperitivo. Light, fresh, fluffy, delicious. So what we have today is, as you know, I really love Bollinger, and I'm sorry this is not a cheap one again. So I will go back to some cheaper wines, but I know you guys are actually trying to educate yourselves. I don't know if you can even see it. This is the Grand Honnet 2015. So we're talking a 10-year-old Bollinger. absolutely delicious. Bollinger is just a rounded, full-bodied, really nice champagne that works on any occasion. I love the Bollinger Rosé. It's my favorite rosé, apart from the Dom Perignon Rosé, which is really good, but that's different price level. Um, it is. I did a blind tasting in Spain with a whole bunch of Philistine mates who had no idea about champagnes and carvers, and we did a blind tasting of a bunch of carvers, a bunch of champagnes, and the ones that people thought they liked the most, um, like Laurent Perrier, actually didn't do very well. Dom Perignon people didn't like because it tastes very toasty because it's quite aged. Some of the carvers actually came number two in the list because people didn't know what was carver and what was champagne because they're made in the same way. The one that won by a massive margin was Bollinger. And I think that's right. Bollinger, and I didn't even realize how much I love Bollinger until I did the blind tasting. I'm like, fuck me, this is really good champagne. So it's got that biscuitiness that is lovely. It's got that a depth of aroma. It's got still a lemony freshness to it. And that, my friends, is a civilized drink and a civilized snack. So I am trying to civilize you. I would like to highlight the impressiveness of American culture when it comes to food and wines, because I think it's important, because I know I always take the piss out of them, or out of you lot. It's only because I love you. But, you know, I think I want to show how good the pinnacle of American culture can be. So I was in a chat recently with some friends I love dearly and trying to save their fucking souls because they were going to the Olive Garden and they were proud of it. And I'm sorry, I can't help it. A, I've never been to an Olive Garden, so you're going to say, well, you don't even know what you're talking about. But somebody sent me the wine list. So I think we just want to share the beauty of the Olive Garden experience. So Mario, roll it. I mean, look at this. We have such beauties as sweet pink Moscato blend. Now, Americans, you just put the word Italy and they buy it. They think Domino's Pizza is Italian. In fact, I had that argument with Sergio Silva, who said the pinnacle of Italian food is Domino's Pizza with ranch dressing. I just don't know where to begin. I forgive him because he's a poor Mexican immigrant from across the border, and this is American culture to him. But but I can't rescue you guys. But what I love, the wine list is truly staggeringly awful, and it's keenly priced. So you can go and drink Sutter Home, which is honestly probably toxic. But what is lovely is when we go to the draft selection of fine beers, we have Modelo. So that's foreign and special. Modelo's actually not that bad. And then Bud Light, and then Blue Moon. I mean, this is the pinnacle of all of your culture. Everything you did after throwing out the Brits, you should be proud of. It's incredible. It's moving to my soul to see you, to have come so far with culture and finesse. So, what's next apart from insulting Americans? I mean, I will go around the world insulting anybody. I'll insult English people. I'll even insult Spanish people. I don't mind who I insult, and feel free to insult me, whether it's to do with George Michael or any other random insults you want to choose. I'm more than happy with it because that's what friends do. We insult each other as a term of affection, and actually, I believe that. I'm also back from hot on the heels of meeting a bunch of Philistines. In fact, somebody gave me an amazing T-shirt, which I've lost um, immediately, which was this beautiful Philistines T-shirt with pictures of Doritos on it. Oh, there we go. The Philistine T-shirt. There was a lot of people building these kind of things, not Philistines, Philistines. I love this. The culture of the Real Vision community is fucking epic. And we got 500 people together in Miami for 3 days of utter madness. Utter madness. There were parties upon private parties, from hidden parties to people going running on the beach to everything. So listen, I'm just going to roll the video because I want you guys to see, if you're not in the Real Vision community, how fucking cool it is. But we've got, I don't know who's doing the weights there. There's some very handsome man speaking about bananas. There were a lot of bananas, nothing sexual. They were just bananas about banana zones because we're trying to summon them. Obviously, the market puked the moment I danced with bananas on stage. Julian Bittel, not great. There was, I mean, all the great and good of the industry were there, but in a one-to-one format where you got to hang out with them. We drank a lot of wine. We had the smoking chicken fish community there, brothizing people. We had Dan Tapiero dressed as a banana driving a boat Lamborghini or a boat Ferrari. The fucking madness of the event was just wonderful. And I love getting you guys together, the humor you guys have, the fun that you have. And I mean, you guys drink like fish as well. It's terrifying. It took me 3 days to recover. I think I ended up with Sergio. It wasn't Julian. He went off somewhere else. Sergio, somebody else, a few other friends at a bar at 4:30 in the morning in Miami thinking, why are we here? What have we done to ourselves? And yeah, I paid the price. Anyway, that was that. A lot of fun. One of the things I want to talk about is, as you know, I'm actually really passionate about wine. Wine is something I love because it's a capsule of time, place. When you drink it, you remember where you were when you tried something special. You remember the people you were with. It's also culture in a glass, whether it's a wine of the United States, a wine of Australia, South Africa, New Zealand, British champagnes. These are culture. These are culture in a glass in a really magnificent way. They're also very collectible. Over time, wine goes up in value. They're scarce resources. Each year of a release of wines, less and less of them come available. So, as I think you guys know, I've been involved with Divan Labs and Club Divan for a while, and they've been amazing supporters of Real Vision because they've been opening bottles of wine, teaching you guys, helping you collect wines, taking you on kind of wine tasting trips, all sorts of cool shit. So what I'm going to do now, sorry, that's my oldest friend in the world trying to interrupt me and call me. I've known him since I was 6, and he knows me as, he would say the George Michael image was right. My image of me at Live Aid looked just like that. So I've had to cancel him because he's calling. But one of the things that is important to me is supporting my friends. That's a very old friend. I have a very old friend of mine called Jack Burson. I used to work with Goldman Sachs. And Jack ended up stupidly doing the world's most idiotic thing, which was to become a winemaker. And he teamed up with one of the greatest winemakers in Australia, Peter Douglas, and made a wine for Real Vision. Now, we have no vested interest in this. It's not about money for us, not about anything for me. There's nothing. It's just love for Jack making a wine, which is made by one of the greatest winemakers in Australia. There's a very special story behind the wine, why it should have been a parcel of wine that should never produce great wines. They produced their first ever vintage, and it's called Over the Line because it's on the wrong side of the railway tracks in Coonawarra in Australia, but it actually produces the best wines there. And Peter Douglas made some of the greatest wines in the world, and the Australian wines. And there's some incredible wines like Grange, which is the best wine in Australia. And Jack actually gave me a couple of bottles of that over time. It's amazing. So anyway, what Jack did was make a Banana Zone 6-liter bottles. That's 8 bottles of wine, specially for Real Vision. So the image here is me with that bottle of wine, and it's there for Real Vision members to buy. And I want Jack to sell out because he can't get a distributor. He's got the best winemaker in Australia. He's got some of the best ground in Australia, and none of the winemakers want to know about a new independent winemaker. And he wants to disrupt it and say, fuck this. Let's do this via the crypto community. Let's do it via NFTs. Let's do it in different ways. And I want to support Jack. So if you love wine and you're going to have a party with a bunch of friends who like nice wine, then there's an opportunity here to acquire one of these amazing bottles. I was going to show you the website, but I don't think I need to after showing you that. I bought 2. I know, like the CFO of Real Vision bought 3. There's a ton of us have bought this stuff. You can either buy the bottle itself, the Banana Zone limited edition, over the line wine, 6-liter bottle. It goes in storage into Bordeaux City Bond in Bordeaux and then can get shipped easily from there. So all the logistics are super easy, even though it's coming from Australia. It's $1,000 for the bottle. So this is works out about $125 a bottle. anything made by Peter Douglas is normally like several $100s a bottle, so it's not expensive. Or you can have it with the Club Divan membership, which is their NFT membership of that amazing club that gives you access to fine wines, knowledge of fine wines, tasting of fine wines, and that's $3,000. That's the version I did because I support those guys and they support us. This is not a pitch for anything. I just want to give you access to amazing wines because I know you guys love it. I know you love it when I insult you about the Doritos. I know you love it when I insult you about the Bud Light. And I know you guys are on your wine journey. And the wine journey is one of the great journeys in life. So if you can afford it, go to the website. I think it's clubdivan.com/OTL for over the line and buy one of those. Buy it for Jack. He can't get a distributor. It makes me furious that the system does this. Unless you're a big wine producer, you can't get a look in. And we can change those things. This is the spirit of Web3. It's the spirit of Real Vision. It's democratizing all of this stuff. So if you love wine and you've got a party, a dinner party or a birthday coming up, or in 5 years' time, 10 years' time, because this wine will store, do that. It's a Cabernet Sauvignon from Coonawarra. It's amazing wine. Okay, thank you for that. I just want to help out my friends, right? We all, if I can't do that, what can I do? And Jack's been a friend for 30 years. So we're going to move into alpha shortly. Hopefully you've all seen Julian Bittel's presentation. Please don't comment that it's good because A, he's got a very big ego. B, it makes me bad. I mean, he works with me. So it's really my work, right? It's nothing to do with him. He likes to think it is, but it's not. And he has a very big ego and he has also quite big hair. So I'd rather you didn't compliment him, but it is really fucking good. That's on Raoul Pal, the Journeyman, or on the Real Vision platform. And it'll give you a basis of the understanding of the stuff that I talk about, the alpha that I'm trying to give. So you really understand, A, how to unfuck your future, and B, how not to get scared in the stupid, boring, sideways market. The amount of fucking noise from you people. I get it on the platform. I get it on Twitter. Oh, please, we need words of encouragement. We need help. I'm like, Bitcoin's at 100,000 or 98 or 96,000. You need help? I think you've got bigger problems than your crypto portfolio. I think you need a psychiatrist, a psychoanalyst, and I don't know what else. I'm not sure I can help you. We told you crypto is volatile. And with the volatility comes great returns. And it's choppy and sloppy. I've given you the rules of how not to fuck this up. I've given you the merch. Go to the merch store, buy the Don't Fuck This Up, because it's the only way you fuckers are actually going to figure out how not to do this, or how not to crap your pants every time the market goes down 5%. It's just that crapping of pantage stuff that goes on is so unnecessary. You should just be bored. I'm so bored right now because crypto's doing nothing. But you lot, you're crapping your pants. And it's like, life is far too short for that. It really is. My alts have gone down 50%. Yeah, because you shouldn't have so much in them. I've told you that. Don't fuck this up thesis. My heart doesn't bleed for you anymore. We've given you the rule book. We've given you the playbook. We've given you the macro investing tool to show you how to do it and how to relax, and still you freak out. You probably aren't a Real Vision member, are you? That's why. That's why. You're probably trying to glean together your information over Twitter and think this is going to help me. My friends, this is not going to help you at all. This is going to fuck up your life entirely. I'm looking at you seriously. So get with the program and learn how to build a framework of understanding and how to calm the fuck down. It's good. Okay. So what have I done in the bear market? This chorizo is really good, by the way. And yeah, chorizo, the Spanish pronunciation. If you're elsewhere, you would say chorizo, but you've got to prove that you understand how Madrileños speak, the people of Madrid. You have to lisp it, but it's fucking good anyway. So what have I done? I have been buying NFTs. I tell you guys this, I give you the alpha endlessly and none of you listen. You'll get NFTs that were sold last cycle. They're all shit. They're all worth nothing. Meanwhile, I've been literally spending millions of dollars buying NFTs. And it's not the random shit, the meme coins kind of stuff. It's like all the great art in the world. This second cycle play, the first cycle is when things launch, people ascribe value, it all drops, and then you see what has Lindy effects, what's going to survive. And I've talked ad nauseum about Xcopy and Beeple, but there's so many artists, whether it's Jack Butcher, whether it's Sam Spratt, or whether it's Kim Assendorf. I was collecting his work recently. I mean, that went up 7x from the mint in a day. And I'm not going to sell it either because his work is fucking unbelievable. I've been buying Neurocolor. I've been buying Hafka. I've been involved in the Sam Spratt. I was kindly, very, very, very kindly gifted the ability to join the Masquerade by Sam Spratt. There is so much going on in the NFT world, and it's a much nicer world. It's less full of player versus player and more all about everybody getting involved. And these assets, they're going to be priceless. When the value of crypto goes from $3 trillion to $100 trillion, that wealth is going to get recycled into art. And so all you want to do is buy as much art as possible, get your white wall screens, which is a fantastic app that allows you, because this is my token frame, that's broken. But the White Walls app allows you to put any screen up using your Apple device or your Chromecast or everything else and display your original authenticated art in new and incredible ways. And it's just fucking cool, right? Your friends will think you're cool. You'll think you're cool. Everyone's a winner. You can drink champagne in front of it, pretend you're George Michael. It all works for me. So now we've talked about NFTs, boring markets. I've given you the best recipe for Doritos and Bud Light, the toilet flush recipe. I've shown you the snacks. Let's get on to the alpha. So I'm going to try and share some charts with you now because I'm trying to add value to your lives. You probably don't deserve it. I'm sure some of you probably do, but most of you probably don't. You're probably drinking your Pabst Blue Ribbon right now, thinking, it's not Bud Light, it'll be fine. Right, let me try and share this. Sorry, it's always chaotic, as you know. I never know I forget to do stuff, everything else. So, drinks with Raoul. Julian selfishly named it the macro investing tool because he writes most of that. So he just wanted to show that he did this. This actually is the work that comes out of Global Macro Investor, which is my core research service. Let's talk about the business cycle. It's the important part. What's that? I missed that. Oh, okay, sorry. Mario's telling me he hasn't got the charts up yet, so you can blame him. Nothing to do with me. I'm kind of on it, on my game, like a master. Mario's just slipping, unfortunately. I think he's getting older. So the business cycle. I've talked about this a lot. If you can simplify everything at this point in the cycle, it's about the dollar. When the dollar weakens, liquidity conditions will increase and the world will be a better place and your bags will go up. Whatever bags you hold, literally anything. And so what we are doing is repeating the Trump cycle from 2017. Trump came in, the dollar had been going up, everyone was freaking out about tariffs, they're inflationary, rates have been going up. Trump comes in, says, I want a weaker dollar, and rates went down all the way through, even though the Fed were raising rates. We're seeing the same thing today. It's mirroring it. The dollar will weaken. It's very important the dollar weakens because the dollar is the liquidity provision for the entire system. And it's the dollar that drives global M2 that you guys know about. So I'm just going to pour myself a fresh glass. Feel free to pour yourselves a glass while you're going through this, because there's quite a few charts to get through, and they're important. There's nothing like a glass of champagne to focus one's mind. Okay, so global M2 is following the exact pattern. And I've gone through these charts before, but you guys have memories of a goldfish, or you just panic and forget everything I've ever told you. So I'm trying to anchor you on some understanding, which is a tough ask, frankly, but I'm doing my best. And Julian went through these as well. So it's not like the first time you've seen them, but you'll act like it is. And you're like, oh my God, that's amazing. And I've showed you these charts like 16 times before. Global M2, last time, this time, same pattern. That is the same pattern as the dollar. It should all play out the same way. Global M2 is a good proxy for global liquidity, which means number go up. The other thing that people get very confused about is they're like, well, what happens if the Fed don't cut much more? I don't care. What happens if rates don't go down a lot? I don't care. What happens if they don't drain the Treasury General account? I don't care. You've got to understand the global picture is the big picture. And the global picture, like 2017, will most likely be driven by China. I think the US will stimulate, but China is the big one. Chinese bond yields are now at 1% or somewhere close to it. They have run out of runway. And what does running out of runway? Jay Powell told you today, running out of runway, i.e. no rates to cut, means QE, baby, and more cowbell. The Chinese have I think when I looked at the calculation in my Excel, I think I got to, they need a fuck ton of QE to do. So yeah, I think the calculation was a fuck ton. They have to print money like crazy. Why? They have an aging population, massive debts. They need to service their debts. Everybody's in the same boat. This, my friends, is the everything code. I've bleated on forever about it. You kind of half get it. It's the fact that the only way of servicing the debts is to debase the currency. And the Chinese will do a lot of debasing. However, they can't do it until Trump beats them over the head with the strong dollar, which is happening today, and saying, you will agree our tariffs, which is happening right now. And when they agree the tariffs, he will say, I'll give you the carrot after the stick. The carrot is a weaker dollar. He did that in 2017. He will do it again now. The weaker dollar plus the lack of spending from Doge, i.e. the lowering of spending, will mean that rates come down as well. And what we get is the banana zone, the next phase. It is all to play for. There is nothing else going on. There is nothing to panic about. There is nothing wrong. It is all a piece of beauty. Global M2, every time we get to this point, it comes, it breaks out, it retests, it goes higher. We're exactly at the right point where this should happen again. Next phase, Global M2 going up, the weaker dollar. There's Global M2 and Bitcoin. Oh my God, I hear you say, because I hear you all the time. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Panic, panic, panic. Is it going to 70,000? Are we all going to die? What am I going to do? No, no, no. In 2017, it went down 28% in 5 days, and then it kind of sideways chopped and then rallied. It will decouple from this chart going forwards from here. That I will give a high probability, 70% probability. The low is in, it will decouple, and eventually it will go. The next phase will be alt season. I hear all of the bullshit on Twitter. Alt season is cancelled. There's too many tokens. It's never going to happen. Everything's changed. The ETF and la 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 la. Not true. It will happen. It may not take your bags higher, but that's because you're a shitty asset allocator and you need to do better job. So, we've all got our failures. I mean, I've got a few things in my wallet that are down enormously, and I pretend that I don't see them because they're only in my small bag, which was like less than 5% in mine. So I don't really care. Global M2 versus Bitcoin. Every time it breaks out, Bitcoin breaks higher, obviously. So we've talked about that before. We've done that chart. We're on that chart. The business cycle is picking up. New orders are screaming higher. The business cycle is the driver of global earnings. Global earnings get recycled into risk. Recycling into risk means risk assets like small cap stocks, through to commodities, through to alts in crypto go higher. The business cycle has only just started. A number above 50 for the ISM is expansion of the business cycle. We've just had our first print since God knows when of this going on the upside through 50. Last time was 2020. So we've got the cycle to play out. We are nowhere near the peak in the cycle, which I'll come to in a sec. New orders, less inventories. This is a 3-month lead, screaming even higher. The business cycle is going to pick up fast. And financial conditions, the dollar, oil, rates, they say, well, it should go to at least 55.6, but that would be low for the ISM because guess what? We think the dollar goes lower, rates go lower, and oil goes lower. So that should push this up into the 60s, which extends the cycle further. So we're at least 9 months away from a cycle peak. So it is very interesting where we are. It is all very positive. When we look at the overbought, oversold indicator of where we are in the cycle with crypto, we're nowhere near overbought. We're just starting. Bitcoin, every time the ISM peaks, Bitcoin peaks. When the ISM breaks 50, Bitcoin accelerates. We are at the acceleration phase, not the peaking phase. Anybody who tells you otherwise is a fucking moron. So we're at the acceleration phase. We've got liquidity coming. The ISM is not going to peak until the end of the year, maybe even into 2026. There is nothing, literally nothing to concern yourself. Here's the ISM and a kind of detrended, some fancy thing that Julian does with this. Gives you a pricing model of Bitcoin. I mean, if the ISM goes up to 60, where it should be going, I mean, we're talking Bitcoin in the 250, 350, whatever thousand level. We ain't even started. Oh, and altcoins will outperform Bitcoin. Here's altcoins percentage of total market cap. Now, I've shown you this chart maybe 58 billion times, and you forget it every time. I don't know what drugs you guys are taking, but maybe a little less. So to increase your memory bandwidth would be somewhat helpful to me because it's tiring to show you the same chart and you forget it every second. So what we have here is altcoins as a percentage of Bitcoin total market cap. As ISM goes up, people go out the risk curve. Sorry, speaking with my mouth full. That is not actually very civilized. I get it. I'll probably start vaping later, and you can insult me for that as well. Chorizo is so good. Goes so well with champagne. So basically, we've just crossed 50 in the ISM. That doesn't mean instant alt season right now. Give me my alts. Where's Banana Zone? Banana Zone's not happening. The Banana Zone's failed. You've slipped on the banana skin. Shut the fuck up. It takes time. It'll all play out. As the ISM accelerates, altcoins will accelerate. So, inflation, that's the other thing. Oh my God, inflation is coming back. It's going to be the 70s again. I know. I hear these narratives from you guys because I see it all over Twitter. I see you messaging me on the Real Vision platform. I see you talking to each other on the Real Vision platform. And I just hear these voices. I'm like, where are you getting this from? I don't understand. You're listening to some random crappy macro guys, never run a portfolio, telling you something. And you're like, see, he said it. He said it. Inflation's coming back. We're all going to lose money. I get it. We've all got our net worth in this entire fucking trade, and we want it to work. Please, 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 just focus. So, wages, wage tracker growth going lower. Therefore, we will not see wages increasing for a while, if at all, depending whether AI breaks it entirely. Ain't concerned about that. Oh, home prices. Well, home prices are a massive drag because there's a 17-month lead. So home prices will be bringing down CPI shelter, which is the largest part of CPI. If the largest part of core CPI is shelter, it ain't going up. When rates go down, guess what? Owner equivalence rents come down, and that drags down CPI. Look at the Cleveland New Tenant Rent Index, 3-quarter lead. It's puking. It's gone below zero. There is no inflation, my friends. Let's take away shelter and look at all items less shelter, because shelter's the lagging one, 1.9%. I mean, really, dudes? And then we'd use the Mount Fuji chart of truth that Julian and I have been using forever. Like, we take all the inflation episodes, the major inflation episodes, compare them to this one, and guess what? Inflation is coming lower. So we will get cyclical inflation later in the thing. There's nothing structural. We're not going back to the 1970s. None of that's going to happen. Literally, none of that's going to happen. Tariffs are not inflationary. It wasn't inflationary last time. It won't be this time. None of that is going to happen. It'll just be a pretty ordinary cycle. So that tells me dips are for buying. The cycle top, again, all the fucking noise on X. The cycle top is the top. Is it topped early? Oh my God, it's the worst. I'm so scared. I'm so scared. We're nowhere near. The core risk indicator, are we overbought? No, nowhere near. Bitcoin valuation model, are we overvalued? No, nowhere near. Let's have a look at it versus the 2017 cycle. Are we near the top? No, nowhere fucking near. Are we going to follow this exactly? No. Are we going to do decently based on this? I think so. I think it's going to rhyme more than people expect, and we will have a stronger cycle than people expect. The NASDAQ, for those of you who still bother to trade equities, which I know some of you did, it's following the same pattern. It's all like a rerun of the previous Trump, because he's got the same policies, basically, apart from with the new tech stimulus. So let's go back. Again, Julian talked about this in his presentation, but I want to hammer it home and hammer it home to you. You guys all have PTSD from the last cycle. It finished early. Is it going to happen again? Am I going to lose my money? And am I going to round triple my gains? Will I die? Will I have to drink Bud Light for the rest of my life? Or can I drink champagne? All of these stories. Blah, 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 blah. The orange zone market goes higher, right? But it didn't really in 2021. Well, what happened in 2021? Oh, the ISM peaked. Do you remember? Raoul told you a minute ago, when the ISM peaks is when you need to be worried. Oh yes, the ISM peaked in March 2020, 2021. Previously, it peaked in January, February 2018. Guess what? That's when ETH peaked. Also 2013. It works every time. And where are we now? Oh, we're at the bottom of the ISM. Oh, how silly of me to be worried about the about the market peaking. For fuck's sake, people. And so I don't even know what this chart is. Oh yeah, from the halving. We've only done, is it from the halving or from the low? We've only done an 8x from the low. We did an 85x and a 46x. We only started. Liquidity, as I said, peaked in March 2021. We're now negative currently by this measure of liquidity. If I use the global M2, we're just positive, but we're nowhere near there to be a liquidity peak. As we said, the ISM peaked March 2021. So let's look at it. That was what was happening in March 2021. Look at that. Financial conditions were falling. And the ISM, well, it had peaked at over 60. And let's look at the current one now. You ready, kids? The opposite. It's bottoming. And the green, the financial conditions index, will be going the other way. And the last time it did this, it went up a lot, blah, blah, blah. This is the chart. Again, everyone's like, where's my banana zone? It's failed. It's like the banana zone is a period of time and a price action that is nuanced because it goes in bursts and then corrections. So the banana zone started from September onwards last year. The market came up and did what it did every single time. The correction after banana zone phase 1. So correction phase. Then banana zone phase 2 kicks in and it goes fucking la. It goes bananas. Then guess what? Correction phase 2 fits in. And then we go to the final blow off top. And you've got to be embarrassed. You've got to be embarrassed from all of your complaining when you look at that chart. And look at how small that squiggle is for the correction phase. You've got to be embarrassed. Oh, no, I forgot. You bought AI tokens and they've gone down 90%. I did try to tell you. I gave you the don't fuck this up thesis. If you could follow it, don't use leverage. Generally have 90% of your portfolio in the top, 5 cryptocurrencies of your choice, you're generally fine. You're generally fine. Don't FOMO. Don't do stupid shit. Don't get hacked. Store your stuff carefully, and you'll be fine. But no, most people didn't. So let's give a few charts to love because we're kind of going into Valentine's Day. I'll talk about Valentine's Day in a bit. But there are some charts to love. When you step back and stop all of the noise, there's the Bitcoin chart. It broke out of a wedge. It's been slip sliding down the little slope of that wedge, unwinding its overbought, ready for the phase 2 of the banana zone. ETH. That weekly ETH chart is a killer chart. That's a beautiful pattern. I don't know, you've all given up on ETH. ETH's never going to go up again. It's terrible. It's the worst thing ever. The ETH community and Vitalik save us. Just shut up. It'll be fine. Will it outperform Solana? No. Will it do very well? I'm sure it will. ETH to me, overscale. How are we doing? We're about half a bottle in. As you can tell, the swearing and the general insulting is increasing. I apologize for that. I'm actually a nice person. I try to be. Okay, so generally, I think they've overbuilt block space. That's the basic problem with the layer 2s and crushing of the fees. But once the financial system builds on ETH, I think we'll be fine. So I think the financial system will build on ETH like they use Microsoft. All right, we don't really have a choice. It's the most Lindy. It's the most secure. Got the most devs. It's the most understood. ETH Bitcoin cross. I know I've tried this many times, but I honestly believe that this is either a wedge or a sideways consolidation, and it will be fine. Alt season is generally ETH over Bitcoin. If altcoin season is starting, Bitcoin dominance should fall. ETH should rise against Bitcoin. And again, I'm kind of not worried. Solana versus the US dollar broke out the wedge, retest, up, new high, back down, all fine. Bit of a sloppy chart pattern, but in the bigger picture, it's a killer. I mean, look at that. Cup and handle, test the highs, next breakthrough. This will be the move through 1,000. Simple as that. Solana looks beautiful. Solana versus ETH should keep outperforming ETH. So that's the risk curve I've talked about. ETH outperforms Bitcoin. Solana outperforms ETH. And then we go to Sol Bitcoin. That should break higher too. That will be the next leg, which will be alt season. And then we've got SUI, which is the stronger token, earlier, slightly riskier. SUI, and again, just because you guys are going to snapshot this and he's pumping his own bags. Yes, I am. I'm on the foundation, but actually, the majority of my crypto, liquid crypto, is in SUI now. And I'm looking for the fucking switch to go 100%, which I don't recommend for most people. I don't. And it scares the shit out of the SUI board when I tell them that, because then it's all their fault and I can blame them. And that's not with any inside information, honestly. I'm telling you, it's nothing. It's because of this fucking chart. So it's a beautiful inverse head and shoulders base, retested the base. I did a big amount of switching. I will do more. And I think that it should outperform over time. So I'm just trying to bet on the fastest horse. I'm just a profit maxi, trying to create the most wealth I can for myself and family and everybody else. Deep book, the liquidity layer to SUI. I've talked about this before. It's been a recommendation. It has done very well. It's like SUI beta. And it looks again like it's forming a wedge. Another beautiful chart. Deep book versus SUI seems to be doing the same kind of thing. That looks great. Doge, the king of all cryptocurrencies. And I'll come on to this point in a sec. That chart is killer. These are altcoin seasons. This is the risk curve. Doge is such a beautiful chart every time. And here's the money shot, the greatest chart of all time, and maybe the most hilarious chart of all time. is that Doge has outperformed Bitcoin by 500% since inception. And if we break from here higher versus Bitcoin, Doge will be the hardest money on the galaxy, and Bitcoin will not be. And I think that would be the most hilarious outcome in all of crypto, that Doge ends up being the hardest money ever created. And I'm rooting for that. I'm going to have some Doge. I just think it would be fucking hilarious. I can't believe what the Bitcoin maxis will say when you just say, well, yeah, the Dogecoin standard, that's what it's all about. And we'll have new kind of Dogecoin maxis who are bullying everybody else on Twitter because they didn't see the Dogecoin standard. So that's what I'm looking at there. So hopefully I've added some alpha. Julian, politer than me, puts thanks. I'll just say, listen, can you actually listen to this stuff sometimes and stop asking me the same questions on Twitter every single day or on the Real Vision platform? So let's take a quick pause. I've been talking a lot. So I'm just going to take a quick pause, have a bit of nicotine. Right. How long have we? Oh, I've been going 50 minutes. We haven't even started questions, and I haven't got on to the next bit. So I'm going to answer questions. I'll only answer them on the Real Vision platform. So you fucking freeloaders on X and YouTube, there's no love from me. Zero. realvision.com/join is free. It will help you unfuck your future. I've spent 10 years, 11 years of my life doing this for you. I would be really honored if you come across. But here is the horrible, dirty secret: is I actually love you. And because I love you, I have negotiated, well, I haven't told anybody, I'm just going rogue, that every single person in the free tier, realvision.com/join, or those of you who are already there, will get from Valentine's Day on the 14th, you'll get free access to Real Vision Plus. And I'll show you why that's cool in a second. But you will get free access for 2 weeks until the end of the month. Just part of just being on free. And that's my Valentine's gift to you because I love you. Now I'm going to show why it's cool. And I know some of you like, oh, don't show me the pitch, or I'm already a Real Vision Pro member or RVIP member. I get it. Our job, my job, is to bring as many people on this journey as possible and help them. So forgive me if I'm pitching this to people because it is fucking important to me. Okay. So thank you. Okay. So I'm going to bring up Real Vision now and share a screen. Okay, so those of you who haven't been on the, oh, have I crashed the platform already? So no. So those of you who haven't been on the platform, it's videos, amazing people, amazing content, written reports, handsome men, beautiful women, more handsome men, intelligent conversations, not so handsome man, that kind of stuff. We also have the ability to message the community. We've got this incredible global community in about 120 countries where you can go through, and I want to find whoever this member is in Oklahoma. Let's go into Oklahoma City. Norman in Oklahoma has 9 members in Norman. I'm going to go to Norman and we can see who they are. Anyway, without sharing people or doxing people, you can network, talk to people in different channels, blah, 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 Melbourne, London, New York, macro, crypto, everything. But what I want to show you is this. Cool as shit, the trade ideas. When you get into Plus, you get to see the trade ideas, which everybody can, but you get to find out what they are and why they are. You get to read the whole trade idea. Sorry, there's so many of you on the platform. And I'm literally, when I do these, it breaks the platform every time because there's so many people come through. But what we have is thousands of trade ideas from members. And this is embarrassing now. There we go. Thousands of trade ideas from members around the world. This is user generated content where they have taken the informational value of the Real Vision network and turned it into alpha for other members. So if I say I'm in this ludicrous 13,000% return, but let's take Joe Bland. Joe is fantastic. Let's go find out who Joe is first. So Joe is a Plus member. He's been a member since 22. He's got 49 followers. He's from Scotland in the UK, and he has 19 different trade ideas. And most of them, the ones that are down small, the ones that are big are up fucking enormous. So Joe is somebody to follow. So I follow Joe. But we want to find out what this RGT idea is. Well, it tells you what it is, but if I click on it, it actually brings up Joe's thesis on the trade idea. Sorry, the platform is so slow because we've broken it with all of you guys on it. It will show you what the trade idea is, why he did it, everything. And we can filter it by trades that are live, trades that are not live, what's moving, and there'll be much more coming. You get this as part of Plus. You also get the amazing work from Julian Battelle, this guy here with the slightly bouffant hair and the copycat beard, which is the macro investing tool, which will literally change your life. It will literally change your life in understanding how to make money from macro. And it's just free as part of your membership as a Plus member. Anyway, you get all of this for free. I'm giving it all for free because I love you. I won't bore you on the platform, realvision.com/join. There's so much fucking alpha here. It will change your life. I keep telling this to you. You don't listen because you're on YouTube or you're on X and just can't be bothered to press a button. I'm doing my best for you. Okay. Right. I'm going to go across to the platform now and answer questions. Obviously, if you've just joined, just say, hey, I've just joined, and I will say hello, or I'll try not to ignore you. Let's do my best. So let me bring this up and start answering questions from the platform. Oh, the noise in my ear is if you fill out the survey that's coming, anybody, you get 14 days of all access. That's every fucking thing we do. So that's my reports in Pro Macro, Jamie Coots's report, Pro Crypto. That is literally everything. That's everything in the Plus tier, everything in the free tier, the whole goddamn lot. If you fill out the survey, Pro All Access, just All Access. So I didn't know that actually. So that is an incredible thing to do. Just do it. All Access is a $6,500 a year product. So knock your socks off, kids. You can go back. Also, the hackers, you can go back and see everything. You see my trade ideas. You can see the portfolio, how I've done, how Andreas Steno Larson's done. You can read all of their research. It's cool as shit. So, right, that's enough of that shit. Let's get on to questions. I just now need to pull up the platform and find questions. Let me see if I can do this without screwing this up. Oh, by the fucking way, you don't need to pester me. Sorry, I'm going to share my screen. You simply don't need to pester me anymore. Share this. Let's get rid of that. I want to show you something cool as shit. You don't know this yet, but when you log onto the platform, a Raoul Pal avatar comes in, a AI avatar called the Pal avatar, and reads you the news. The AI generated news every morning. It's me, but it's not me. And on Fridays, I have a glass of wine. However, here's cool as shit. That image of me is actually my AI. It is my LLM trained on me in my voice, trained on my Twitter feed and all of my free content, not global macro investor content. And I can talk to it. And I'm going to talk to me now. Let me ask it a question. This is cool as shit. And you get a whole bunch of this for free. Just come, you just need to be a paying member and you get this. Let's call me. Nobody else has got this shit. It's only on Real Vision.
Hey there, I'm Raoul Pal. How can I help?
Listen, I'm drinking champagne with, 120,000 people currently on a live stream. What champagne should I drink?
Well, first off, that sounds absolutely bananas. Cheers to you and your 120,000 friends. Now, if you're going for champagne, you've got to do it right. Personally, I'm a massive fan of Cava from Spain. It's made in the same traditional method as champagne. but it's cleaner, crisper, and doesn't have all the over the top sweetness or additives you sometimes find in other sparkling wines. Plus, it's got that beautiful balance of acidity and freshness that makes it perfect for a celebration like yours. But if it's actual champagne you're after, go for something classic like a Bollinger or a Krug if you're feeling fancy. These are rich, complex, and just scream sophistication. And if you want to keep it light and fun, a rose champagne like Ruinart is always a crowd pleaser. Whatever you choose, make sure it's chilled to perfection and paired with some proper snacks. Maybe some toasted almonds or even a bit of caviar if you're really going for it. So, what's it going to be? Classic champagne, or are you ready to give Carver a shot?
I think I'm going to go for champagne today, but I want to know what, if I'm going to drink Bollinger, what cryptocurrency should I buy with it to accompany its elegance?
Bollinger, brilliant choice. It's rich, complex, and just oozes sophistication. Now, if we're pairing that with a cryptocurrency, we've got to match its elegance and depth. I'd say Ethereum is the Bollinger of the crypto world. Why? Because it's not just about the surface level sparkle, it's about the layers underneath. Ethereum is the backbone of decentralized finance, NFTs, and so much more. It's like Bollinger in that it's not just a drink, it's an experience, a statement. But if you're feeling a bit more adventurous, maybe XRP could be your play. It's a bit of a special situation right now with the ongoing legal drama, but I think it's got potential for a positive resolution. It's like a vintage champagne that's been sitting in the cellar, waiting for the right moment to pop. So, Bollinger in one hand, Ethereum or XRP in the other. Now that's a pairing worth celebrating. What do you think?
I love it. Thank you for your help, Raoul.
You're welcome, mate. Enjoy the Bollinger and the Ethereum, or whatever.
Okay, that's fucking wild, right? And that's all part of the Raw Vision platform. Nobody else has got shit like this. And that's just the start of the journey because the avatar and that are going to merge. So knock your socks off. If you haven't used it on the platform, it's absolutely hilarious. Right. I'm going to go to the, I'm going to stop sharing and answer questions. Let me go onto the platform, find my content, drinks with Raoul. I can't even see it. Hold on. So everything's a bit slow because there's so many of you degens, and hopefully you've made my incredible recipe for Dorito and Bud Light because it is very special. You can fish it out of the toilet at any stage now. Okay, drinks with Raoul. Oh, only 113 questions on one side. In fact, no, right. I'm going to go through this as fast as I can. Sorry if I'm rude to you. I'm in that kind of mood today. Okay, where do I start? Bernard Beckett, I joined RV in 2020, changed my perspective on investing and made more for me than any other community I'd engaged in until that point. Thank you. Thank you, Bernard. Jordan HM, XRP. Well, my bot said XRP is all right. Paul, sorry, were you saying something to me? Sorry, I got people speaking in my ear. Sam Bradshaw, you mentioned that identity is the narrative that people are missing. How big could this be? Well, last time I checked, there's about 8.5 billion people, and they're going to need to prove that they're real on the internet. So it's about as big as you get. Hi, from Jen. Hi, I'm selling my house in order to buy Bitcoin and Solana. Any feedback? You are crazy, Jen. I don't think you're wrong, but you have to understand the volatility and the timing. And, try not to use leverage when you do that. Darren, do you think this show can be done entirely by the Palvatar? No, not yet, but it will be able to. I would give it a year before we can do this with just my AI. Right, I'm going to flip across to the other feed. Rembrandt Fokker, which is the greatest name on earth. I don't know if it's real or not, but, who doesn't want to be called Rembrandt Fokker? Wow, thank you, Rembrandt. He's also an exponentialist member. He also shows up to the exponentialist conversations, smoking a cigarette outside, which is, I think, brilliant. Sorry, I'm now. Peter Basile, best platform in the space. Massive thank you, Mr. Raoul, spelt wrong. Some things you just can't teach, hey. Blah, 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 blah. Solana, what survey? Leo Alexander, the survey's not out yet. There'll be a survey. You fill it out. Special prizes, 2 weeks of all access. So Paul just tells me it comes out tomorrow. So don't fuck this up. Fill out the survey, get the all access. If you haven't joined the platform yet, join the platform, fill out the survey, get all access. If not, you'll get plus, which is amazing too. Donovan Christie. Hey, Raoul, just signed up. As an artist myself, I'm interested if the NFTs you're buying are by established artists. I tend to be more established because I just don't have the bandwidth to find and support newer artists. I have friends of mine who are much better at that. So generally established. And that's my fault of my own. Like I'm not a VC investor because for the same reason. A. Gomez, Bollinger, Pomeray, Ferrari. I think you're talking about Bollinger is the wine, Pomeray is the sparkling wine, and Ferrari is the Aspie Spermantic shit. Blah, 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 blah. What crypto do you invest 50,000 K on as a newbie from Scotty Massa, Bitcoin? If any question is what crypto I'm new, it's always Bitcoin every time. Flipping across the other stream, Chris Shepard. Hey, Raoul, great session. Love the alpha and straightforward. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm rude as well. I'm rude, but you guys don't ever fucking listen. So I'm trying to help you listen. I want to allocate a small portion to a finance coin. A finance coin. I have some Chainlink and XRP. Should I prioritize one or another one? Don't know, my friend. Honestly, I don't know. Ask the community; they'll help. So I'm now vaping. This is terrible. When did these barriers fall? That I'm like, oh yeah, I'm just going to vape, drink, swear. This is supposed to be the media. And when I first started, I was wearing a white shirt and I was looking all fancy. And now I'm fucking swearing, smoking, vaping, which is, my mother will tell. Well, actually, my mother vapes, but I get told off by various people. There's one hand me talking about, oh, well, that's a carcinogen. We shouldn't eat Cool Ranch dressing, and the other hand, I'm vaping and drinking wine. I know I'm a complicated. I am a complicated person. I get it. I get it. Matthew Pothier. Matthew, shout out to Little Cayman in the house. Matthew, super smart kid, came to my house recently. I know him from Little Cayman, and he has been going down the journey. He's gone down the real journey. He's at university right now and learning all about cryptocurrencies, tech stocks, Metcalfe's law, network effects, all of this stuff. So, Matthew, thank you for joining. From I don't know where you are. If you're in Canada right now on Grand Cayman, but the survey comes out tomorrow, or it should be Mathieu, as his mother would say, because she's French. Okay, Brit Strong, even your AI is long-winded. Brit, I thank you for insulting me. That was very good. And yes, you're probably true. Okay, I'm going to scroll down the list because everyone's just blowing their minds about the avatar and the thing. Okay, question. I saw a good question. Raoul, what makes you lose sleep at night as it relates to crypto? It is not about price action. It is about losing control of my tokens through doing something fucking stupid and getting your wallet drained, or just doing something stupid and losing your life savings. And this is why wallet security, stuff like multi-sig, don't have stuff stored at home eventually. Just being really ultra fucking careful with your security, because Christ, we've gone through a lot to get here, right? And you suddenly mint some fucking NFT or get onto some list for a meme coin, you click and your wallet's drained. Also, segregate any transaction should not have your main assets in it. You can send money to somebody, do anything, send it to a wallet for transfers. Same with your NFTs, all of this stuff. Matt Doty, important. Matt coming in with an important question. I know you told us before, again, you don't fucking listen, Matt. What is your favorite white wine style, Burgundy or Bordeaux? Literally, there is no argument about this. That there is no greater wine on earth as a white wine than a white Burgundy. We're talking Polini Montrachet, Chassagne Montrachet. We're talking Bâtard Montrachet if you've really got a lot of money. Or you're talking Santenay. We had a Santenay for dinner the other night at Milos in Miami with a bunch of people at the gathering. Unbelievably good wine. Chablis Premier Cru. Saint-Auban if you want to go cheaper. White Burgundy. It's how it is how Chardonnay is supposed to be. It's not supposed to be this kind of pineapple-y, rich, sweet thing. It's supposed to be mineral, crisp. It's supposed to give you a bit of acidity and generate saliva on your palate. It's supposed to do great things. And when you get it right, there's fucking no white wine on earth like it. Although I'm heavily getting into Albarino from Rias Baix in northern Spain right now. Hey, Raoul, do you think your AI will have more alpha than you eventually? It'll probably be funnier, maybe marginally less abusive, and it's probably smarter than me already. Drew Davis, when will Ledger Live support SUI? I think you can store there, but the full SUI integration, I've been speaking to Ian Rogers about it, and I know the SUI Foundation are as well. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Coming. Carlton Shiki, new subscriber here too. Carlton, in the house. Thank you. Ben Phillips, great show, brother. Banana Zone, here we come. Thanks for the freebie. Thank you, Ben. We love you. It's Valentine's Day coming on Friday. Johnny Gren, Raoul, you said if you were in your 20s again, you'd go and work in an industry with a secular trend. I'm in M&A and wondering if I should dump cash into SUI and go and live in a sunny place. Would this outperform working in London? Yes, I've actually realized this, and it's a fucking horrible truth. Is, if you get a relatively early stage but large crypto, it does 100%, 150% a year returns, even with the drawdowns, even when it goes down 90%. And there's literally no point starting a business. If you've got a decent pot, there's literally no point doing anything else. I mean, why the fuck did I start Real Vision? All the sleepless nights, the grey hair, the wrinkles in my eyes, I could have done none of it if I just stuck with the original thing. But anyway, we all make these mistakes. Blah, 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 blah. Bernard Beckett, any thoughts on RWA tokens? Big Bones have been murdering. I have no idea what you're talking about, Bernard, but I'm pleased for you, or I'm upset for you, whatever you mean. Jaden Levitt, Raoul, love your work. Thank you, Jaden. I love your work, whatever you do. Please explain how bond volatility is a signal for liquidity into the system. Heard Mike Howell explain it. So if the governments fund themselves via bond markets, and it's supposed to be the main source of collateral and security of the entire system, if it gets too volatile, it means there's generally not enough liquidity, so it moves around too much. So therefore, they need to add liquidity. It's as simple as that. Raoul, Google Talk thought I said bro. I know who Google Talk is and why bro. Sorry, I don't know what you're talking about. Chorizo recipe. Doug, you're showing your Philistine-ness. Chorizo recipe. You don't make fucking chorizo. Some artisan craftsman in Spain makes chorizo. They have to slaughter the pig. They have to dry the meats. They have to hang the dry. They have to mix the paprika, the salt, cure it in the right way, in the right air. They then have to hang up the sausages. They have to hang them up for 6 months, a year. There's no chorizo recipe, my friend. Chorizo is what it is. It is a thing. It is a wonder of the world. Sean Dean, why are these comments not on auto scroll? I'm sorry, Sean, we haven't added the 78 millionth requested thing that you've asked for on the platform. Do you understand what it's like running a low budget? Ralph Humphrey, man, did someone break the RV website? Took a while to get here. A la Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. Yeah, it's Raoul Pal against his alter ego, George Michael. Blah, 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 blah. What would happen if Sol XRP Access is listed on the NASDAQ? Nothing. Oh. Sean Dean. Saucisson over chorizo. This is a age-old battle that is a very, very important battle, which is France versus Spain. And he's trying to suggest that saucisson is better than chorizo. Firstly, they're not comparable because one is a paprika-based sausage. So you would use a different variation in Spain. A salchichon. Saucisson, salchichon. Of which obviously the Spanish version, because the Spanish pigs, the Iberico pig is the greatest pig on earth, would be better. I like saucisson. I like hanging out in the French Alps and eating this stuff. But I'm sorry, my friend, you're never going to win the Battle of France versus Spain. When you go to Spain, half of France is on holiday there because it's better. And that's simply the most crushing damnation of France I've ever heard. Um, Chris G, and now I'm fucking swearing. Yeah, I know. I know. I try so hard. I start off, I think I'll make a few jokes and then I get really bad. And then there's always somebody in the comment section saying, Raoul, you don't need to drop the F bomb so much. And I'm like, I kind of know, but I can't not. I just like fucking swearing. Um, I don't have kids. What do I say? I don't have a wife anymore, so it doesn't really matter. I can do what I want. Um, hey, Raoul, Nani Loose. Hey, Raoul, have you tried Chazar wine from the Pico Islands in the Azores? I have not, actually. Portugal produces great wines. I've not tried Azores wines. Um, Ray Durbin, I want the Raoul bot to insult me while he gives me snack advice. I'm going to try this. In fact, do it yourselves, because if not, I do the sharing of screens and all that shit. Say, hey, Raoul, can you insult me and give me snack advice? Just ask it. Zolo Kiss, are you also smoking normal cigarettes? Thanks. I probably smoke 20, 40 cigarettes an entire year, and sometimes none at all. Just very occasionally with friends that smoke. And sometimes just sitting outside in the warm, salty air at sunset, having a cigarette with a friend who smokes, it's actually fine. But I don't, although I used to smoke all the time. Okay, going through more questions. Fuck, we're an hour and 15 minutes in. Nick Canner, how long do you plan to hold sweet and deep? Well, I'm fucking locked in for the foundation for the next billion years, so I'll be in the trade for a while. I get some liquidity. I will take some profits off at the end of the year. What are my price targets? I don't do price targets because you cocks can't deal with it. Because you then think that that's exactly what's going to happen, and when it doesn't happen, you want to drag my name through the mud on the internet. So we're not playing that game. Okay. Are you coming to Dubai and hosting a party, the home of crypto? I'm coming to Token 2049. I will not be hosting a party. I'll be fucking exhausted. I'm actually a introvert who plays an extrovert on the internet. All of these events, exhausting for me. I find it really hard. Even these events, even these online events, when I'm just looking at myself, are actually really, really exhausting for me. So we will do something in Dubai. I'm already worried because Token 2049, there's so many events going on. Sven N, thank you for sharing all of this. I'm new here. Welcome, Sven. I've been investing in Render. Any thoughts? I don't really know Render that well. I mean, it's all part of the AI data play and other stuff. I don't know. I just hope it's less than 10% of your portfolio. It's not big enough to be larger. Okay, Matt, it's a good question. Hey, Raoul, can you define what you specifically look for when comparing a chart of one versus another crypto, which is one of the greatest hacks because you've got X amount of dollars to allocate and you want to get the best allocation. Obviously, it's dependent time in the market and can't wear the bear market as it does in the early bull cycle. I'm looking for chart patterns that suggest that one is going to outperform the other, whether it's a break of a channel or an inverse head and shoulders or just a trend. You want to see that you're putting your capital into the thing that's going to make you the most money because we're not in this game for anything else. Yes, we believe in the future of Web3. We believe in crypto. We believe in decentralization. What we actually believe in is unfucking our future. And I don't give a shit about anybody's thesis about what maximalist argument they believe they should have to own one thing over another. I've owned a shit ton of stuff and I'll continue to do so. So do that. Alison Maddock, my favorite day of the month, drinks with Raoul. I love it too, but it's fucking exhausting, eh? Because I'm shit faced and it's like 20 past 6 in the evening. Everyone finds it amusing because they're just watching me getting drunk, talking to myself. Um, but actually, I also enjoy it. So many questions. Hey, Raoul, you plan to organize a meetup for the Real Vision community during Token 2049 in Dubai? Yes, but Damien, please organize your own meetups too. It's not all about me. I just want you to organize meetups independently, decentralized, have fun. If you're organizing a meetup in Dubai and you've got more than 20 people going, write to us and we'll foot the bill. Simple as that. Social at realvision.com. Just if you're organizing a meetup, more than 20 people, write to us. We'll pay your bar tab within reason, and it will not be vintage Bollinger. I'm sorry. You frankly don't deserve it. But you know what I mean. I want to encourage you. It cannot be about me. I'm not scalable. There's an AI, but please, please, please organize stuff in Dubai. There's so many members there. Um, Ray Durbin, can we get more minutes talking to the Raoul bot? He's my best friend. He's my best friend too. He understands me. He loves me. He doesn't judge me for who I am. And I've run out of minutes as well. Kevin Kelly, hilarious. Kevin Kelly from Delphi. He hit me up on WhatsApp. He's like, fuck, I've run out of minutes of the Raoul bot already. I'm like, this is so good. I don't have to speak to Kevin ever again. Yeah, I think we've not made it easy for people to find. People haven't used enough of it yet. But from what I hear, people are loving it. And I think it's a much bigger deal than anybody understands. So I please, please, please send your feedback about the bot. I don't even know where to send feedback. We don't have an email address to do this, have anything. Um, social at realvision.com. Paul, that's what Paul tells me. If you like the Raoul bot, please just send me some feedback because I don't know. I don't know if you're using it. I haven't seen the data stats yet. I just want to know, do you think it's useful? Because if so, I can fucking scale that thing in all sorts of ways that will change your lives. But I don't know if it's really what you want. So tell me, please. Um, Raoul, thoughts on Palantir? I don't really know. I've never understood Palantir. I almost bought it because I didn't understand it, and I knew that it was like a meme stock too. I don't know. I'm sorry, I can't add value. I don't have anything negative to say either. Uh, Eric Smith, is Tesla a bull flag? We were talking about that today, Julian and I. I think so. I mean, I'm wildly bullish, but it's been sloppy recently. I'm not worried about it. Roland S. Doge has unlimited supply. It can never be the hardest money. Mate, it's outperformed Bitcoin. So somehow you need to justify that shit. Yeah, it's true. So I don't care by what mechanism. If it goes up more, it's better money. Spencer, could you be wrong with top alts outperforming Bitcoin? Seems like a big disconnect in the altcoin market cap from Bitcoin. Normally, alts keep up with Bitcoin when they outperform. Spencer, I've given you all of the framework for this. Every single thing. I've gone through it on this call. Julian's gone through it. I've gone through it for 50 times. The highest probability is they all outperform. The highest probability is Spencer Dingman is impatient. You know, I'm joking with you, Spencer. You message me on the platform directly all the time. I get it. Which X copy to buy? Nicholas Fisher, Afterburn or Max Payne? I would probably go Afterburn or Guzzler, something like that. I love the Max Payne, the artwork of Max Payne. I've always loved, and he's been burning them anyway. Just anything X copy is epic. Yeah. Sorry, I'm getting just while you're seeing me going, yes, yes, I'm speaking to Paul. There's a the left-hand side of the bar is a feedback button. There we go. So you see these little two double things on the bottom left, feedback button, anything about the bot, any feedback, please, 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 please tell me. Um, okay, I'm getting kind of exhausted now. Carl Hinks, thank you for keeping us grand, Ralph. Forget the noise. Do you ever drink whiskey? I actually really like whiskey. Whiskey of all types. It really fucking doesn't like me. You know, it's one of those people where you really like that person, you want to chat to them, you want to be your best friend, and they're just bad to you. Whiskey's bad to me. I used to drink a lot of Lafroig and Macallan and bourbon and Japanese whiskey, and it was just rude to me in the end. So I had to break my relationship with whiskey. I mean, it's still hot. I can still stare at whiskey across the room and go, "Hey, baby, how about it?" But no, no, it doesn't work. I can't believe I've just done that, winking at whiskey across the room. Okay, Jenny Chen, how do we get the 14 days free access again? You don't need to do anything, Jenny, because you're on the free tier. It'll all happen magically, and maybe one day you'll pay to upgrade into something better so I can change your life. But if you're going to if you want to get full access to every single thing on Real Vision, just fill out the fucking survey. It's like it's a free hack. It's a free hack, right? Fill out the survey, blah, 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 blah. But please answer it truthfully because it really helps us. I'm trying to build you a better world. Just answer that. You'll get free access to all access. Um, Chris Hoggart, we know you love French wines, but how about our Belgian beers? Any favorite? No, I don't drink beer. And it's not from snob value of like, a joke about Bud Light or whatever. Is the yeast in beer doesn't make me feel good. So I tend not to drink beer. Sometimes I'll drink an ice cold Canya in Spain. Belgian beer is too hoppy for me. And again, amazing drink, just doesn't work for me. So I'm a fragile petal. I understand that. I'm not the hardcore alcoholic you'd like me to be. SC, Bud Light pairs well with Trump coin. Yeah, they're both shit. Um, Braden Sara, do you know anything about the Okananga Okananga wine country in British Columbia, Canada? Yes, I've drunk plenty of your wines and they're actually fucking good. Uh, Mark Wright, new member here. Are bananas actually your favorite fruit? No, Mark. In no world is mango not the favorite fruit. And anybody who thinks mango is not the favorite fruit or the greatest fruit that ever was created by nature probably needs to just leave this platform now. The banana is where we celebrate, but the mango is the god of fruits. That is a public service announcement. Okay. We'll now be going 90 minutes. I'm fucking exhausted. David Harmon, what's the best beverage for a god candle? Well, we haven't got one yet, so I don't like to kind of preempt that. That's a difficult choice, David, because champagne would be the obvious choice, but I drink it a lot anyway. So you need kind of something a bit punchier, a bit. I'll tell you what I had. I'll tell you what I made last night. It was actually delicious. I quite like patted myself on the back. Is I had a Flor de Cana 5 year rum. Choose your 5 year good quality rum. Fresh soda, ice, obviously, in a nice cut glass, heavy cut glass, but a decent size one because you need enough soda. And I grated fresh ginger. So it's not like a dark and stormy with ginger beer. It was this gingery, fresh rum drink. I think for a god candle, I think that's all right. I think you'll survive. Right, I'm going to my final question. Hey, Ralph, thoughts on real world asset tokens? I think it's a waste of time. It's all a big story. It's all great. Please, 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 please. 90% of your assets not in that shit, in any shit, just in the main tokens. Um, um, okay. Final question. Rembrandt Fokker, wow. We've had Rembrandt a few times saying wow. I know it's probably because the website's not updating for me. Raoul, favorite cuss word. uh, I don't think I'm going to say. I mean, look, English people, bollocks, epic. Wanker, epic. We use the C word more often. Um, I don't use it that much, but when it's used, particularly on your friends in humor, is epically funny. Fuck is like the greatest word ever invented to mankind. Don't be a total cock. It's funny. It's better than dick, right? I don't know. Anyway, enough of the swearing because I'm sorry. Um, Brandy Castle. Biltong is better than chorizo. LOL. Biltong is amazing, and you are clearly a South African, and I will bow to biltong as being a great cured meat, and it's different than chorizo. So, Stephen Jennings, I just like fucking swearing. Sorry. At that, I'm going to apologize. Realvision.com/join. Go there, answer the survey, get all the free bloody shit that we've talked about. Paul, is there anything else I'm supposed to be saying? Oh, there's 91,000 of you on X watching this alone. We will generally have about the same again on Twitter, and then I don't know, tens of thousands on the Real Vision platform. Thank you guys. Realvision.com/join. Unfuck your future and civilize yourself. The majority of you are in your 30s. Your parents didn't help you much in how to be civilized. You go to the Olive Garden, or your parents take you to the Olive Garden. You might have gone to, oh, I don't know, Cheesecake Factory. I'm trying to show you something different. Real Vision's the way. I love you all, and happy Valentine's Day for Friday. Ciao all.